how you doing today? Well, I hope you're doing good because I have so much stuff I'm just so excited to share with you. I know I have that extra energy and I just can't help it, but I'm hope to spread some of that around on you. So I'm trying to pump you up, as they say. And believe me, a lot of us, I'm always kidding around and joking around. I have a very, very serious side to me. But I always like to try to say the positive things and bring in a good vibe because you know what? We're all going through something. Anybody who wants to believe you're going in the world and we're not all going through something, they're lying through their friggin' teeth to you. We're all going through something, you know. So I'm just so darn transparent about everything that, you know, I'm just saying, yeah, we're all going through stuff. So why bother covering it up? But my job as a life coach, and I've been doing this for 33 years. I've had my own radio shows, doing talk shows, TV talk shows, writing columns, doing interviews for newspapers, you know, seminars, yada, 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 yada. I hate it when people ring their own bell. But just so you get an idea who I am, excuse me, frog in the throat. I'm just want to say to you that my job when I'm here with you, when I come into your living room or wherever you're at watching the YouTube on TV, you're watching on your computer, your cell phone, wherever it is you're at, you're going to be in different places. And the good news is you can come back to any of these segments and you could rewatch them, and I hope you do, because the truth is, we're all like, I want you to think about this. Here's a little metaphor. We're all kind of like dry ground. Okay. Life has left us dried out a little bit. And when you're dry ground, think of dry ground. I live in Arizona, so there's a lot of dry ground that when you first pour water on it, it just runs off. I mean, you get a little wet, but it runs off. And then you have to add another cup to it or whatever, and then it soaks in a little. The third time, oh my gosh, oh yeah, now we got some nice soft ground. Well, the same thing. When you get the first time you get something thrown at you or an idea thrown at you or something presented to you, if you've been, you know, you're kind of dried out from all the things you've been through, I mean, dry, crusty, the whole enchilada, then it's going to take re means doing it again, like play it again, Sam. It's a replay on it. So it absorbs. And then the stuff can absorb in you. And see, even with ground, nothing will grow unless the ground is soft. And what these little talks we do that are calling, hey, all aboard my Roxy train, because it's going to bring you wellness. It's going to give you wisdom. It's going to give you facts that your mother didn't tell you. She might have dropped a little couple crumbs, but your mother didn't know what I know. Okay. I had been around quite a few years on the planet to know this stuff. I studied this from little and I became a life coach because of my own childhood. I became a life coach as an only kid because I had to figure out a lot of the stuff for myself. And I was a thinker and a planner and a thinker and a big analyzer, as you can probably tell from these little podcasts that we're doing for you. But I became a life coach because I'm trying to give other people answers and give you shortcuts on things. Some people are never going to like a shortcut. But today, let's go on with today's topic, what it's going to be. Before I do, I want to go all the way back to the first segment, and it was on playing blind. So if you haven't seen it or you need to re-see it, and it's about playing blind, and the people really love it when you play blind because they don't have to change, and they play blind to a lot of stuff, and they want you to play blind to a lot of stuff, so everything will remain as is, and they get their way. That is not acceptable, by the way. Okay, that makes you a doormat. And you are nobody in the world as a doormat, because there was a time that I was a doormat, and Roxy don't do doormat really well. I don't do doormat at all. Okay, I don't even do a throw rug. Okay, so the second one is a really good thing that it was talking about. It was about your throat and talking and communicating. Well, there's people in the second one that we did was talking about, they want you to shut up. They want you to muzzle it, duct tape it. If they got to chloroform your face, you know, put a pillowcase over your head, whatever they got to do. It's really obvious they don't want you to talk. Or when you talk, you know what they do? They look straight ahead. Like that means shut up. You're interfering with me. You're bothering me. And they actually are so rude and ignorant. They look straight ahead. See, they're the ones who has the real communication issue. And we're talking about the second podcast, not today's, but the second one that we were talking about on talking and speaking. See, they suck. People who are very bad at communicating, they just They just stare ahead. They act really weird. They shut down. They're rude. They do all that stuff. So you'll quit talking because they want everything to be the way they want it. The way they want it is the key word here. And you're not ever supposed to do that. You need to be you, do you, be you. Don't be obnoxious. Don't be rude. But you shouldn't ever give up for anybody being you and doing you. And when you start seeing the signs that people are expecting you to play blind to stuff, or they want you to muzzle you and just zip it, with the zipper, psst, there's something wrong with the relationship, the job, or wherever you're at. And maybe, not maybe, it is time for you to change, but then you have to have the cha-chas to be ready to do it. Leaving that where that is. I'm so sorry. I have to have a sip of water here. Pardon me. I am a talkaholic. This is what I do. Talk shows, talk radio, talk in seminars. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the stomach, the gut. Now, we're not going to be having you pull up your shirt and I show you my tummy, you show me your tummy. We're not doing a tummy tuck show. It's not about tummy, anything like that. We're going to be talking about the stomach. And we're also going to talk about something that the Chinese, I talked about the Chinese lightly on segment 2. The Chinese knew about a thing 6,000 years ago. I mean, that's like way, way back. Again, I want to state I wasn't back there, so I'm not that old. I want to really clarify that 6,000 years ago. But the Chinese left all kind of these great wisdom, because the show's about wisdom, wisdomary records about a thing called chakras. Now, maybe God revealed it to them or whatever, because they had no x-rays. They had no way to look inside of people, but they had this great knowledge. There were 7 chakras inside every human being. So when a baby comes out, they slap it on the behind, they cut the cord, that child has automatically 7 chakras, which means 7 areas that have to stay active or the body gets sick. And how do those 7 areas stay active? By not overworking them or not being around positive, negative energy too much that shuts them down or clogs them up, which don't even worry about that. That's a whole other show. Because boy, when I do the chakra show, that's hard to say. The chakra show. You couldn't do that if you had a little glass of wine in you probably, but I didn't. So I can say the chakra show. Really good. But we're going to talk today about the stomach. Now, do you realize I took a few notes, so I always have my cheat sheet with me. So we need these little trusty glasses of mine. Oops. Guess what? Roxy wait a minute, I just lost a microphone. Oh, okay. Guess what? My microphone's back. I got very quick reflexes, by the way. If I fall, I get up really quick too. So, I mean, no matter what, we just lost a microphone. And you know what? I hope they don't even cut this out when they edit it, because it just shows we're all human. And if I just in the middle of a podcast lost a microphone, I got it right back up. Hey, there's hope for you too. So anyway, moving along here on the All Aboard Wisdom Show. All Aboard Wisdom Show. Because I'm trying to get you aboard with wisdom, because wisdom means wise. And if you're wise, like the 3 wise men who found the Christ child, they were the 3 wise men. They weren't the 3 dummies. They weren't the 3 idiots. They weren't the 3 stooges. They were the 3 wise men, because they knew what to look for. Let's do that again. The wise men 2,000 years ago knew what to look for. And my podcasts are teaching you what to look for so you don't get lost. And you know what? They were wise. They followed the North Star. And think of my podcast as your little North Star, because I actually kind of like being thought of as a little North Star and directing people in a direction to go. So let's talk about a few things that are absolutely infecting the particular part of your body that you're having distress from. Many times children get this. And even children get ulcers. You know why children get the ulcers? Children are sponges, and children can pick up if mommy and daddy don't get along really well. You don't even have to say. You could put on a great act in front of Louie and Susie, but they have children that are young. They just came to the planet early. They absorb things, and when they feel things more than even what you say to them. So their stomachs are the first thing. like all babies, how they, they you pat them on the back and they throw up and burp and all that stuff they do. Okay, so their stomach is always a touchy area. So what we're going to talk to you about today is some of the things that you can tell if you're around negative energy, or if negative things, you've been around it so much and you've been, let's say, playing blind to it, like in segment one. If you are not talking about it and you're shoving it down, I didn't say that, I'm shoving it down, or I didn't see that. If you think you're not going to have stomach problems, some people can get away without having it, occasional gas, and they have that Gas X or whatever they take for it, or anti-gas or whatever the thing is, which we really don't have to go into because you already know what we're talking about. But the thing is, the stomach gets hit and here's what sets off the stomach. When a person, no matter what their age, and children don't think in these terms because they don't think, they just feel. Or as you get older, a teenager, a young adult, a medium age adult, an older adult, a senior, whatever it is, senior. The thing is that when you believe and your stomach talks, all your organs have something to say, and they're picking it up from your feelings. And here's what is, when you're having stomach issues, and I guarantee you it's one of these things, I guarantee you, especially when it's habitual, here it goes again, here we go again, roller coaster ride, here we go again. When it's your stomach, it's because you can't stomach what you're around. You can't stomach what you're seeing. You can't stomach what you're hearing with your ears, and your stomach is going to start to react. It's like a volcano. It's going to start bubbling. It's going to start having all kind of things. And, that's why people, by the time they hit their middle years, we're calling 40 and up, they start to notice they're at the doctor. I have this problem. I got that. I got a bloating issue. My stomach's blowing up. Why am I swelled? What's going on? Oh, let's really talk on a classy subject. It's like a really classy one. Hey, like I'm getting a little gassy. And then, you know how bad the gassy can be, because you can be walking in a store and somebody lets one of those silencers go, and, and they leave the aisle, and 20 minutes later, people are gagging and falling over their buggy from whatever you left behind. And then there's the other kind of gassy people. I know this is just a little offline from what we're saying, but it's still your stomach. And then there's ones with those real putrid gassy ones, where, you couldn't miss it because they actually have like a trumpet sound effect, or a tuba comes with it, But anyway, I'm not asking you what your style of passing gas is and bloating. But the point is, because you got to laugh. I mean, my God, if you can't laugh at life, and you can't laugh at some of the things that happen to our body, and it only gets a little worse as you get older. I'm not even going to go into all the things, but if you're a little bit older and you've had a few things, you get the drift here. Okay. So the thing is, when you can't stomach, let's see what the notes talk to you about. And I wrote these. I'm really proud of these. When you start having stomach pain, every time I eat something, I'm doubling over. I'm doubling over. And also when you're getting GERD, and it makes you stiffen out. Also, another thing, we're going to talk about the gallbladder, because I want to talk about gallbladder because I had a very one-on-one ordeal with the gallbladder. But when you can't stomach stuff, also be aware. Remember I said we're sponges, children are sponges, adults are sponges. The people who are more sensitive in the world, there's people who don't feel anything. I call them sociopaths. That's a whole other podcast we're going to go into. But the sensitive people, the caring, warm and fuzzy, the loving, they really care about how everything goes. These people can actually have a lot of stomach issues because they're absorbing an awful lot of what's going on around them. And it's making them sick to their stomach. And they're having side effects. And you know what? When you don't like where you are or who you're with, don't think your stomach isn't going to react up if you're a very sensitive type of a person. The hardball people who don't feel anything, I mean, really, they're like a billy goat. They could probably eat or a shark. They could eat a tin can or a tire. It wouldn't even faze them. But the soft, the caring, the loving people do have an awful lot of stomach issues. And again, it's a lot coming from their emotions. So you want to check out who you're around, what you're around, and where it's happening, because your stomach is talking to you and it's telling you that, you know what, I can't stomach this. So pay attention. Now, another thing is nausea. When a person's feeling nausea and it's not an actual disease. So when they're experiencing nausea, here's another, and the mind is funny how it is. It helps us translate what we're feeling in our body. Do you ever have listened to somebody long enough and you don't say it because you're smiling, you go like this, or you just sit there, but it's nauseating what they're saying. It's nauseating. You know them people, you sit there and you try not to squint and you try to smile and you do the cheesy smile, all that. It's nauseating. And when you're around people that are just nauseating, don't really think that it's not going to cause maybe nausea within you. And you think, I don't know why I'm so nauseated. Look at where you are, who you've been around within the last 30 minutes, because everyone and everything throws off vibes and energy. That's a whole cool, fun next podcast. Well, not the next one. It's going to be one of my many, 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 many about the vibes and energy that gets thrown off by everyone and everything. Now, the other thing is I want to talk about the gallbladder. That's a big one. A lot of people have gallbladder issues, and I don't know why. I'm not a doctor. For some reason, they don't really like to just take them out. Now, I'm going to tell you, I was ready to go out and have the biggest party, get a tambourine, and do a cartwheel the day they took my gallbladder out. They went in for something else. They go, oh, looky, you have gallstones, Roxy. And I said, no, I had a feeling I did, because when I would lay from one side, that's what we all do. Well, not all of us, but if you change positions, you go from the left to the right, to the left, to the right. I could feel something rolling, almost like I had a marble show going on inside, like right up in here, like went to one side, went to roll to the other. And I go, yeah, I kind of figured I had rocks or marbles or something going on in there. So when they found it, I said, hey, let's get her done. Let's take them out. Well, I guess maybe there's not a lot of money. Once you get your gallbladder out, then you don't have to keep coming back for checkups where they say, well, try this, well, try that. How about trying this? Well, I tried it till actually they brought me in after 3 actually big gallbladder attacks. And I'll bring up why I'm talking about Roxy's talking gallbladder to you in a minute. You're going to love the reason behind it. But the thing is, there's a reason the gallbladder gets hit so hard. And the reason is that just because you eat too much oil and grease, okay, the gallbladder holds a thing called bile. Bile and gallbladder sit side by side. And have you ever heard the term, people say, the gall of you? I can't believe you have such gall. Now, gall is bile. Bile is the most bitter, awful thing on the planet. I mean, it's worse than drinking raw vinegar if you would really even sit around and do that. So I know, because it was like coming up on me, which we're not going to go into and, do a visual on what happened, but I'm just telling you. And I will guarantee when you're around people, when you are around people you can't stomach, you're going to have stomach issues. When you're nauseated, you're around people in situations that nauseate you. When you're feeling pain in your stomach or gut, you are around people in situations that's triggering it, and your body is screaming, get me out of here, Madge, get me out of here, Bob. And guess what? You won't go, and you're going to drink something and take an antacid, do this, do that, because you want to keep those people or that situation or that job or whatever, yada, yada, you got going on. You're going to do this too, because nobody told you this. Everything that's happening in your body is connected to a person, place, or thing when it gets out of whack or out of balance. I guarantee you, it's the energy that's coming off a person, a place, or a thing that you don't need to be anymore around, or you've outgrown it. And you know what? There is nothing wrong when you outgrow people or things, because the truth is, on this side, this world, everything expires. And sometimes for your own good health and mental health and for your own peace of mind, let it. Like that song by John Lennon, let it be, let it be. I would say, let it go, whatever it is. So, but anyway, about the gall, I can tell you for 3 years prior to 3 exact years from the time I started having these rocks growing in my gallbladder, the, gallstones and all that stuff, I can tell you I was actually around a very, 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 very bitter human being, bitter. And I kept thinking in my head, I never said it out loud. Every time they'd say and do something else that was like, your eyes just pop, you go, oh my God, did they really say or do that? Yeah, they did. I would think in my head, oh my God, the gall of that person. Oh, the gall. See, these are the subconscious thoughts we have. But, it was so bitter. It got so bitter. It was like such a bitter taste they leave in your mouth when you're around them, when you replay a visit you were with them, when you think of the words they just said to you, when you think of what they did or how it felt when they touched you or they're around you, whatever it is. You see, when it's bitter, you've heard the thing bittersweet. Well, when it's more and more bitter than it's sweet, you see, many times, and you start getting harder inside, and you're trying to survive that person. You're trying to survive because you don't want to leave the situation. It could be for money. It could be for prestige. It could be because you're used to them, or you don't believe you can get anybody else, or you just don't want to be alone. It could be whatever the reason. But you see, the problem is when you tolerate it, you see what happens. You start to get harder and harder and harder to deal with them. And many, many times the body does grow stones. It like stones actually in the body. The body listens to what our feelings and emotions are telling us. Now, these things happen more so to people who are soft, caring, loving. Now, there are the hardcore people, the mean people, the grouchy people, the people who are from, I don't know where they're from. They're just like nasty people. That's probably why they outlive the soft, kind, loving people, because they're just like rock hard. I mean, I don't know what I say. They wear spurs and have saddle sores and nothing seems to bother them. But just remember one thing too also, the chakras, that 6,000 year ago thing we talked about, just briefly, because I'm touching lightly on all these things that I'm going to go deep into. And this is just surfing with different topics with you right now to begin with. But the Chinese knew your core, which is your gut, your core is the seat of the soul. It is the seat of your soul. It is where your emotions sit. After you put something in your mouth, it goes in your mouth, down your throat, and it sits on the seat of your stomach area. That's where stuff resonates for the longest period before it goes through you. And I want you tonight, today, in the morning, afternoon, evenings, whatever time you're watching this. If you're a night owl, I'm a night owl, but if you're a night owl, whenever you're watching this, I want you to really pay attention to how you're feeling and quit saying, gee, I wonder what that is. Oh, why do I feel so bad? Oh, what was that? Start paying attention to who was on the phone with you, who texted you, who wrote you something, who opened their mouth and said something to you, what energy you got to sit and be around. I mean, who you're working next to. And under no circumstances, here's how I want to wind this up today. Under no circumstances, no matter what, you do not have to sit around and say, I can't stomach this. When you start to realize that what you're listening to, hearing, feeling, or being around, it's really not good for you, just remember, it never hurts to change. There's always a door. You can always walk out. And so what? So there's a few complications and situations or even setbacks, but you're free of it. And you know what? It's amazing how the body heals, because when the Chinese found that core area, and that is called your core area, when that gets cleared out, and you get strong in that area. Do you know that your core area actually supports your back, your spine, your neck, and everything else, your legs? So don't be around things that you can't stomach. Don't be around people that, I mean, to you are just absolutely obnoxious and rude, and they say and do whatever hits them to say and do. Because it's only the people who are soft and caring, they get the short end of the stick. So be loving, be caring, be all those wonderful things. Don't tolerate. So that's what I want to talk about, the stomach. Pay attention to what your tummy is feeling. And remember, it's always based on the energy of what you've been around, what you saw, what you heard, or what you felt. So remember now, subscribe. Please put like, subscribe, and also hit share. Pick up your phone and let some people know about this podcast. You might be saving their life, saving them a lot of doctor bills. And, know thyself. Let's use it for clearing out and going out today, saying, know thyself. Over and out with Roxy, come aboard with my wisdom. See you on the next podcast. It's going to be a doozy. Thanks.